Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Raven Random Rants. This is your girl, Raven the Serial Poet, come to bring to y'all another rant that is random. Today, I want to speak about, normally, I don't never really have any topics on hand, but today is different. I want to talk about families that feud. Now, I know this day and age, especially since the pandemic, a lot of us went through a lot of transitions because, before then, we was always on the go. We was always strangers passing in the night. But then the pandemic made some of us sit down, and because we sat down with people that we barely even spoke to, it revealed a lot of things about family, friends, and relationships. And I can honestly say before then, I've always been the type of person, like when my mom was alive, I would tolerate some people, even though I saw just their sneaky ways. Because, when your parents is alive, you have to, well, you don't have to, but the way I was raised, you have to respect your elders. And once she passed away, I realized how sneaky and conniving and selfish and greedy these, excuse my French, these motherfuckers was. Because, my mom not even warm, like cold in the ground yet. And they came to the house asking for plants that they gave her back, pretty much going through her closet, taking stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute, me as a child, I need to go through the stuff first. I don't care if you are her sisters or whatever the case may be. You don't get first dibs on anything. The child does. So instead of causing a scene, what I ended up doing was, I'm like, you know what? You want the plant so bad, I threw them out the door. Now, some people might look at that like, okay, that was just unnecessary, that was petty, but I feel like you coming over, not even, I want to say, not even a day or two after the burial, the funeral or whatever, asking for plants that you gave her, and you're calling me unnecessary, like my actions are unnecessary. No, what you're doing right now is unnecessary. So long story short, there always have been a disconnect because me being the adopted daughter in the situation, they never really accepted me as part of the family. Some did, some didn't. The ones that did, I'm still cool with. We converse every now and again. But the other ones, yeah, I'm not checking for them, and I'm pretty sure they're not checking for me. If it is, they just being nosy trying to see what I'm up to. But yeah. So the topic is family that feud. I don't mess with none of them people. Like none of them. I might I have one cousin that check up on me every now and again, and I feel as though she is the mediator in a lot of situations. And I could be wrong, but when she check on me and she check on my daughter. But I have, my mother's daughter, because she's not my sister. Um, we was close when I was little, and I want to say I don't know whether jealousy set in when I had my daughter, but she had her son before I had my daughter, and she felt as though my mom was showing my daughter more attention than she was showing, her grandson or whatever, which during the time I was, out of it, I didn't pay attention either way. But I know it was just one of those things. It was just one of those things that it was hard not to pay attention to because it was like obvious, like in your face type jealousy to where, she would just say and do little things, almost like to get attention or whatnot. And no judgment towards myself, because the situation was definitely not on purpose, and it definitely was not voluntarily. But I got pregnant at the age of 15, had my daughter before I reached 16. And so I'm a kid. I don't know what's going on. And the little things that I did know about her daughter, you know, I'm going to take to my grave, because I'm not a vindictive or conniving person. But just know that some of the things that she had me to do and say for her, it was one of those things where, you should not expect a 15-year-old or a 16-year-old to even carry that amount of weight. So, anyway, long story short, she would pretend when she was around family that we were sisters. But after my mom passed, when somebody passed in the family, people's intentions become very obvious. So her mask fell off after my mom passed. Every pretty much, we were supposed to go see where the plot was for her, and she came to Baton Rouge multiple times. Never came and picked me up to show me where anything was. Never really reached out to me during that time, and she know that meant a lot to me. So it's like now I don't even know how or where to go to even visit her plot, to put flowers or just to do anything with it. And it's like a part of me is wondering, did she even buy the plot? Like, she asked for the money for the plot, but did she buy it? That's pretty much been sitting in the back of my mind since 2013. And then it's like, on my biological family side, the only person that I really clicked tight with was the youngest daughter. But I'm not gonna hold you. Like, I kind of looked at her sideways too, because I'm like, well, damn. I was giving up for adoption, and granted, the age gap is large, but at the same time, it's like, why you didn't give this one up? Like, was you established enough to keep this one, but not established enough to, to keep me? And so it's like, it's cycles, and it's, I guess you could say, steps to this. It's like levels to this. So it's like, my adopted sister was jealous of me. I was jealous of my youngest biological sister. And I just felt like I did not belong anywhere. So I'm the type of person to where when I feel uncomfortable, I'm going to close myself off, because I don't feel as though I should even subject myself to that type of rejection. And I'm a child. You know what I'm saying? So, because of everything that happened to me in my childhood, I reduced myself to a childlike state, because, I don't know how to say the word, but I had to organize my mind and block off a lot of situations that I went through, because if not, I would not even be here. So it's like I'm sitting here, and the only reason why I thought about this topic is because I just finished watching Why Did I Get Married, and it's the scene where the baby mama and the wife is going back and forth, or whatever the case may be, and they not realizing that what it's doing to the kids. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they realize the kids hearing everything and seeing everything. And granted, Marcus is in the middle of all of that, but it's like, I just started thinking, I'm like, nobody wins when the family feuds, and it's like, I probably missed out on a lot of family functions and stuff like that. But even back then, I wasn't invited to any of those things, because I think mainly because once I came out, as a lesbian, before my mom passed, that's when the disconnect really started happening. Like, I don't know whether my aunt said some stuff or, my mom went back and told people some stuff. Whatever the case may be, it was just never the same after I came out. And I don't regret it because, when you say and do things for yourself and people shun away from you, that pretty much shows you where they was in your life anyway. So I honestly did not have no feelings about it either way because, I had not fans, I had family that I had created with my best friend at the time and my bestie that I have now, um, along with my late husband and my daughter. So I created my own family, because I'm the type of person to where if you don't want to be in my life, trust and believe. When you walk out, you won't be missed. And that's just the mindset that I've always been in because people leave. People make their intentions very loud and very clear. And so I feel like this year has been one of them years where I've noticed that a lot of people have been spinning the block and reconnecting and healing and having conversations, trying to pretty much forgive, but not so much forget, because when you forget, people repeat habits. And so I'm in a space now to where I'm like, people are starting to reach out to me. And I noticed that, like, people who have pretty much done me dirty over the years have been reaching out to me. And I'm in the mindset of, do I allow myself to still hold on to this grudge? But because let's just be clear, I'm a Virgo. Today is my birthday, by the way. By the time y'all listen to this, it'll probably be, the next day or later on in the day. But I'm getting older. I just turned 44. And I'm trying to figure out, do I want to hold on to grudge or do I want to have a conversation with the people that have been hitting me up? Or do I just fake the funk and be like, oh, hey, whatever, woo, woo. But I've never been a fake person. And that is where the disconnects happen. I can't fake a vibe or a mood. Like, you gonna know that I don't like you, I don't want to talk to you, and I really don't want to be around you just from my face alone. Because a lot of people, you like, oh yeah, I have a resting bitch face. I don't know what type of face I have. I probably have a resting bitch face. But no. That's just like, my friend is telling me, oh yeah, you being petty. Because I told her when I go back home to get the rest of my stuff, once we get ready to move where we moving, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to take pictures at my favorite spots and I'm going to post them after we leave. So when people look at them like the same way they did me, they going to look at the picture like, oh, well, why you didn't tell me you was in town? Woo, woo, woo. Yes, I'm petty. I am very petty. As a reflection of you, I'm the type of person, I'm going to treat you the way that you treat me. And I'm going to treat you the way that you want to be treated. Which means if you come across as bitter, as sneaky, conniving, just doing stuff just to be doing stuff, and then later on talking about, oh, well, I didn't even think about it. How you didn't think about it? And yeah, we're in the same space. Say that lie for somebody else. So now I'm sitting here at 44 reflecting on some things, reflecting on conversations that if I had a chance to have a conversation with some of the people that are no longer here, how would that go? Because my late father, and I consider him my father because I met my real dad and he ain't shit. So I could see why my mom probably gave me up for adoption because I wouldn't want a child by that nigga either. But it's like my father that passed away last year, I wanted us to have a conversation. I wanted us to sit down face to face, have a conversation of why he chose the life that he chose. And why did I have to lose out on having a father because he chose the life that he chose. And it's a lot of things that I would never know. I would never understand. And I know a lot of people like, well, it's not for you to understand. That's the past. Move forward. I'm definitely moving forward because at the end of the day, it's like one of those things where you just have to be mindful. When you have kids, it's a life that you can't have any other time. Especially if you call yourself being a parent and you really want your kids to have that way of life that you never had. You can't be living no fast life. You can't be bringing men and women around your kids and stuff like that. And when people tell you that, you can't get an attitude because at the end of the day, if you watch the news, every time you turn around, somebody is getting killed or kidnapped or assaulted or whatever the case may be. Just like recently, I saw a video where this girl's boyfriend shot her because he caught her at her baby daddy house or something like that. And she met this dude on Tinder. We have to be more selective who we let into our lives, men and women, because I'm not going to just put it all on women or all on men, but men and women have to be mindful who they bring into their space, into their face, into their children's space, because you just never know the intentions of people. People, I feel as though, and a lot of y'all probably don't believe in this, but I feel as though we have a lot of demons walking around in people's bodies doing stuff just to do stuff. Killing people just to kill them. And then people, want to be like, oh, well, that just came out of nowhere. No, the signs are there. We always get the caution light. Even if we don't get what's the word I'm looking for? Even if we don't see the clear signs, the signs are there, but we choose to ignore them. We always get the caution light before there's a red light. But some of you see the yellow light and just want to speed automatically through it, ignoring the red light. That's how y'all do red flags. You meet a guy, you meet a girl, and the signs are there, but you be like, oh, well, it's not all that bad. It's not that bad at all. But in retrospect, it is terrifying. But y'all choose not to see that. And that's what kills me the most, because y'all want to sit up there and cry when things happen, when it's, choir singing and flower bringing, people are on shirts. But when you see somebody that you love going through something, you pretty much, not all of you, but some of y'all be like, oh, it's not that bad. You're making a big deal out of nothing. The guy or the girl, yeah, they might have a temper, but have they put their hands on you really? Have they did anything that make you threaten for your life? Do it really have to get to that point for you to pay attention to what they going through? And that's one of those things that family do as well. Like a kid could come to them and be like, oh, uncle such and such touched me in my no-no spot. Or my aunt took me to her friend's house and her friend touched me in my no-no spot. So it's like, you wonder why the kids grow up angry because they either close themselves off because when they told you something you ignored it. You told them to go outside and play. You told them that they lying, and then when they grow up resentful and don't want nothing to do with you, now all of a sudden they're being difficult and unreasonable. No, that ain't even the case. But y'all take it as that because y'all don't like seeing the truth. A lot of people in the black community, and yes, I'm about to make this a race thing, because even though it happens everywhere, all races and things, I feel as though the black community is the only community that will accept a pedophile sitting up there at their dinner table before they accept somebody from the LGBTQ community. And I want to make something abundantly clear while I'm talking about it real quick, and I'm not going to stay on this topic long, but the LGBTQ community plus, because I have to put the plus on it because they got so many letters on it, we are not pedophiles. Do not group pedophiles with our community. We do not accept them. We do not approve of that way of life. We don't even want to talk about it half the time, but we have to talk about it because now all of a sudden we have all these weirdos that's claiming to be male to female so they could go into women's spaces, girls' spaces to do derogatory things, and now all of a sudden be like, oh yeah, I told, the news want to say, oh, I told y'all, them people are weird. No, we're not weird. Y'all are weird. Because if you can't differentiate grown men and women, loving grown men and women, whether you approve of it or not, nowhere in the equation do we or would we, I ain't gonna speak for all, but some of us would never sit up there and try to groom a child to do anything. Because, truth be told, most of y'all kids in y'all straight family, because y'all always like to bring up, gay parents raising children, so that's why they turn out gay. So what's the excuse for the straight household producing gay kids? Don't worry, I'll wait. And that's another reason why a lot of families feud too, because it's like, if your kid is going through something and they're telling you, okay, I think I might like girls and they're a girl, or I think I might like boys and I'm a boy, and the first thing you want to do is shut down or be like, oh, go play go play football, toughen up, whatever. Why you sitting up here prancing around the house? To a little boy, if a little boy want to sit up there and prance around the house, because let me tell y'all something. Scientifically, all of us started out female. Female is that gene that we create everything. Did y'all know that? All of us started out females. And it's a running joke that I always tell people all the time. I'm like, to men especially, when they going through they emotions, and they always talk about, oh yeah, women don't know how to handle their emotions, but they killing women because they get rejected, but we don't know how to control our emotions. But it's like, it's a running joke where I say, you might want to catch that, and then they always be like, what you talking about? I need to catch what? I'm like, your pussy just fell out. What you talking about? I'm like, yeah. Men don't realize that they started out female, and that's why a lot of men that are gay and flamboyant have that femininity about them, because that chromosome that hormone. They have more estrogen than testosterone, and a lot of straight men have that as well, because that's why some straight men voices be so light and fluffy. Same thing with women. A lot of women have a lot of masculine undertones, and that's why sometimes the facial features might be a little bit strong, or they voice might be a little bit deep, you know. But y'all focus on the wrong thing. But anyway, getting back on topic, I feel like, if you take the time in your family, if you feud with somebody and time has passed and they reach out to you for whatever reason because they want to mend fences with you, I would say this, because I'm about to take my own advice when I say this. It's okay to have a conversation. If you see the conversation going left, it's definitely okay to get up and walk away. Because I don't give a damn what nobody say. Orange don't look good on everybody. And if you know, you know. But it's like, if you want to mend fences with them, by all means. If not, that is your prerogative. Because at the end of the day, don't nobody need to be forced to basically like, oh yeah, I forgive you. Oh, kumbaya and woo woo woo. Like, no. Mm-mm. The people that hit me up wanting to mend fences with me, we can never talk. Ever. Is that me holding a grudge? No, that's holding on to my sanity and my freedom. Because if I talk to them people face to face, it's definitely going to be some choir singing and flower bringing, and nobody going to be able to stop me. Not even the people that normally keep me going. So it's in my best interest to protect my peace. I don't consider it me feuding with anybody because, just like they always say, when you beefing with, if you think I'm beefing with you, you beefing with yourself. I'm a vegetarian. I don't beef with anybody. Now, I eat beef, I like a nice burger or whatever. But anyway, I digress. But yeah. Family, friends, relationships, nothing is worth you getting outside of your body and outside of your mind for anybody. Don't allow somebody to walk you to a cliff and then push you off. That is the most craziest thing ever. So you invite somebody to sit and talk, and you see them, they see them ushering you to a cliff because they like doing little condescending stuff, saying little things here and there, and be like, oh yeah, I saw your little whatever, and I saw your little, being condescending and sarcastic is the quickest way for me to push you literally off a cliff, because I'm not the one. So I will say this before I end this podcast. If you have family and friends that you've been feuding with for years, and all of a sudden out the blue they want to sit up there and reconnect and fix things, one or two things can happen. They done fell on hard times, or they about to die. And the third thing is an honorable mention. Is very rare and few and in between. They have a conscience now, and now all of a sudden they want to fix it. Because, life is short and whatever. But before I leave, I'm going to leave y'all with the thought of the day. And my thought of the day is this. You can always be born into a family. You can always choose your family. But out of those two things, make sure whatever decision that you make is one that is for your peace, sanity, and long livelihood. So with that being said, I hope y'all have a great day. I'm about to go and enjoy the rest of my birthday. And I will be back with another podcast soon. I'm not going to tell y'all when, because I always say I'm going to be back soon, and I never do. But yeah, make sure you do what's best for you, because you only have one you. So with that being said, y'all have a great day. Signing out.